Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the second kit in the Good Smile Company's Moderoid Obsolete line here. In the last video we took a look at the US Marine Corps 1/35 scale Toad kit, so if you missed that you can go back and check that out. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Obambo. This is the Outcast Brigade ALF-EX 16 SOP Obambo. So once again, a very different looking mecha or exosuit that we're going to be taking a look at here today. Let's go ahead and check out what we've got around on the outside of the box. Alright, the box right here is going to be very similar to the Toad. We just got a big illustration of the exosuit there. DoD type number, blah, 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 tactical operation, Exo-Frame type 12, NATO reporting name Exactor. So that's, I guess, I don't know, so do I call it Obambo or Exactor? I don't know. Anyway, its affiliation is Outcast Brigade, height over here, once again 2.7 meters tall, and armaments over here as well as 1/35 scale. Once again, on the side of the box, you got just the same illustration there, the Obsolete logo on the top and bottom. On the back here, we've got a look at what does appear to be a semi-painted kit. Once again, it doesn't really look like it's fully painted, definitely not in this case, so I'm guessing that's just like maybe a little bit of painting, a little bit of panel lining on there just to bring out the details on that. But it looks pretty cool. We got a little action pose there, holding the rifle and holding this other launcher weapon over there, and how the cockpit opens up out the back there, and then what it looks like with just the Exo-Frame and all the armor parts all kind of separated off of that. And over here, once again, just illustration and then illustration of the weapons down here. So you have like these two different rifles and this launcher there. So let's just get it opened up. And once again, like with the Toad, I'm guessing this one's also going to be just the two runners and then our instructions. So let's see here. We do have our water slide decals there. We'll take a look at those in a moment, as well as the instructions. And yeah, looks like we're gonna probably have the same runner there for the same inner frame runner for the Exo-Frame, I should say, in gray, and then the outer armor. They're separate, so we'll take a look at those just a moment. Once again, the manual here just having the illustrations of the Exo-Frame, and then look at where to put the markings on here. So it looks like it's got a couple markings that go on like the shoulder and on the head, and then the weapons, the character, pilot character. On the back side, we've got just basic instructions how to build, and then the parts list there, just the two runners. Then once again, all the manual is in color, so basically all the gray parts on the gray runner are gray. All the parts on the dark green runner are in dark green on here, so easy enough to follow. You just build up the Exo-Frame first with the female pilot figure, and then you'll take that out and then build all the exterior armor parts and then put in the other pilot figure here, which we're going to have there for that. So let's get a look at the runners then. But first, the water slides in here. Once again, it's a pretty small sheet, and even smaller than with the Toad, actually. It's just these markings here. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but it's just got the skull logo there for on the top of the head, and then this like skull with the slashes on the side of it there. You got 3 of those. I think you're really only supposed to put like the one on the shoulder, but you've got a couple of extras, I guess, in case you want to put them somewhere else on there, or in case you need any extras. So our big A runner here is once again in that dark green color. You got a lot of nice detail, especially on the weapons. They're really nicely detailed. You got our pilot figure over here, just that guy in kind of casual wear, not like with the Toad, which it was like a military uniform. It was a military unit, so he's wearing a military uniform. Anyway, in this case, he's just looking a little bit more like a civilian anyway. And then the X runner, same as with the Toad, is just all of the parts to build the Exo-Frame and the female pilot figure up there in dark gray as well. So let me get this guy all built up and we'll see how it looks. So here he is, all put together and very cool. I gotta say, this one, I was not sure if I was gonna really like this. I think I was more preferring the first design, the US Marine Corps design that we took a look at in the last review. Just like the head of this one is quite odd looking, but after building it, I do really like this quite a lot. Some of the more unique features about this are really nice. Just the bar going across from the backpack up to the front is a cool design feature. The fact that it uses just the regular Exo-Frame feet rather than having any sort of like alternate feet, and then the hands as well are also just the simple type hands. You got the cool details of like the lights on the front of it and just like the camera array in there for the head and everything. So once you got this thing like all totally painted and detailed up, it's gonna look really, really nice. As it is, just straight out the box, I mean, it's just very dark, but there's certainly a lot of detail there to take advantage of. As for the articulation of this guy, it's gonna be basically the same as with the US Marine Corps version that we just took a look at in the last review. And again, I haven't glued anything on this one yet, so you just wanna be a little bit careful with some of these parts. Like the head will turn side to side, but I think it's gonna be a little bit inhibited from turning too far because of this bar there on the side of there, but that will rotate. You also got some movement here in the shoulders, front and back, up and down, and this part here on the side of the arm also is not really glued in place. It needs to be in order to be secure on there, otherwise it kind of falls off kind of easily. This one part I did glue, this part here on the front of the bicep, because there was that one, it was kind of like no real way for it to stay there without gluing it in place. So that was kind of the one part of these two kits so far that I absolutely had to glue in order to get it to stay on, basically. But because of the shoulder armor design, as you can see, this one does have a much higher range of movement in upward movement there in the shoulder, whereas the Marine Corps version could only come up to like 45 degrees or something or less, so that's good. With this one, you have more movement there. The elbow is going to give you, again, about 90 degrees. Try not to pop off the armor while you're doing that. So yeah, again, something like that, and a little bit more probably. The hands are just going to rotate, and for the hands, you have the set of holding hands, and you also have just the regular Exo-Frame hands as well, so you can choose if you want to have them holding something or not, then you just swap these out. The holding hands are in the darker green color, but the design is the same. It's not meant to have like different hands like the Marine Corps version. This one just uses the standard Exo-Frame hands, but they're just not molded in the same color in this case. Once again, you have some forward and back movement here in like the ab section, and just again, this whole front section does seem to want to pop off a little bit easily, so just make sure you're careful when moving stuff around. These little flaps on the front, once again, are able to move forward and back around here on the back side. This will, again, will just open up, and our little pilot figure is just sat inside of there. And again, you do have just the standard Exo-Frame version as well, which would just replace this whole big midsection here with this part like that if you wanted to use that for anything. And the wheel on the underside will rotate forward and back for popping that out, or you can rotate the legs out to the side pretty far like that. You can also just rotate those at the top, I should say. The knee bend also going to be pretty nice on this. You have a really nice far bend there, and then the feet will rotate side to side. Let's see, side to side, a little bit tight there, and also forward and back, so you can point those down like that pretty nice and easily. So pretty nice articulation again on these. Now as for its other accessories, we basically got two of these different kind of rifle style designs here. This machine gun one with this piece there for the big box of ammunition there on the side of that. Again, really super nicely detailed, and no seam lines or anything on these. They're just one solid piece each, except for that one being two pieces with that. And then this one, which I believe is a sniper rifle for this, as it mentions in the box, something about a sniper variant, so just based on the design, that's what this one looks to be. So that one, again, pretty cool. The handle design, obviously a little bit silly looking there in comparison, but it's just so that it fits in the hand better. And then we've got this guy here as well, which is just going to stand up, and it's actually connected via a ball joint, so you can change the angle of that, so you can point it in whichever direction you want. But again, nicely detailed, and this is just a couple of parts there, and so you'll just have a mold line basically to sand a little bit on that, and it's pretty much ready to go. So very nice weapon accessories for this. And then just once again for a size comparison to let you guys know just the size of these, there it is compared with a 1/44 scale HG Gundam, so you can see they're going to be coming up to right about the waist height of your typical HG Gundam kits. They're not very large. Alright, so there you have it, another really cool kit, and my final thoughts on this kit are basically going to be about the same as the Marine Corps version. I'll get into that in just a second, but I do think that this one does have one nice advantage in that it has more weapon options. Basically just that you have 3 rather than the 2 weapon options with the Marine Corps version, so it's a small trade-off to have 1 extra weapon option. You do also have less armor. This one doesn't have special dedicated parts for the feet, it just uses the standard Exo-Frame feet for that. So I mean, small trade-offs here and there, but either way I think both of them are pretty well worth the price. They're not super cheap, they're around 25 bucks for these, and again, compared to Gunpla, it seems like kind of expensive for what you could buy with the same amount of money in terms of Gunpla, but for a cool little kit here from an anime series in the Moderoid line, I gotta say this is a pretty fun little kit, and I'm again looking forward to some of the other variations that are coming out towards the end of the year. So these 2 kits, really happy with them. I think they're gonna be a lot of fun to paint up later on. They're gonna take a lot of work, of course, even though they're small, just to detail paint up everything, do a good job. You gotta weather them up a little bit and all that. It's gonna take a little bit of time, despite them being very small in size. It's still gonna be they're gonna be fun kits to work on. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below. As always, thanks so much for watching. Thank you to USA Gundam Store for their support, making it all possible. Check the link to their store down below and use the coupon code there as well to save 10% off. Appreciate all the support, guys, liking, subscribing, commenting, all of that. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.